This is Space TV News. I am Stella Ene-Yang. Governor Adams OSHIOMHOLE of Edo State has ordered the immediate probe of former governor of the state, IGBINEDION, over alleged fraudulent removal of $31 million from the government coffers during his administration. The State Commissioner for Information, Louis Odion, indicated that the missing funds were discovered while turning books. He further noted that the state government will take legal action to ensure that the stolen money from Edo State government is returned. President Muhammadu Buhari has scrapped the Subsidy Reinvestment and Empowerment Program (SURP) and also ordered the Presidential Committee and workers of the agency to close shop. The President's order was delivered to the SURP Committee through a letter from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. As expected, the President has ordered a probe into the activities, funding and expenditure of the agency. Buhari in the letter directed the panel to wind down the operations of SURP and submit a comprehensive report of its activities to the presidency. In a bid to account for the handling of the Subsidy Reinvestment and Empowerment Program (SURP), the Senate has ordered President Muhammadu Buhari to begin immediate probe of his forerunner, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, for mismanagement of funds. The Red Chamber has announced that President Buhari should also ask his predecessor to account for every penny spent during the latter's administration on the SURP and other poverty alleviation programs. This came just as it ruled against the implementation of the 5,000 naira monthly stipend to unemployed Nigerian youth, as the president promised during his campaign. The advice to probe Jonathan was sequel to an additional prayer moved by Senator Babajide Christopher Omoworare to Senator Basi Albert Akpan, who sponsored the motion entitled "Urgent Need to Curb the Soaring Rate of Unemployment in Nigeria," which he presented for consideration during yesterday's plenary. Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki on Wednesday removed Dino Melaye as spokesman of the Senate and announced the names of lawmakers that will chair the different Senate committees for the 8th Senate. The list, as read out by Saraki during his plenary, has Senator Ben Murray Bruce as the chairman of the Senate Committee on Privatization. Senate Committee on Defense is to be chaired by Senator Ahmed Lawan, while Senator Dino Melaye heads the Committee on Federal Capital Territory. Following the worrisome spate of crime experienced in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, residents have called on the State Command of the Nigerian Police for the deployment of more officers and men so as to curb the menace. Pace TV's Ekundayo Yalo completes the rest of the story.
Residents of Port Harcourt have called on Rivers State Command of Nigeria Police to deploy more men and officers to some areas like Kalabari and Okri towards reducing crime rates in the state. Those who spoke with our correspondent said more security personnel are needed to effectively secure the area from risk of criminals.
So there is a really great improvement concerning security, unlike before.
They should have to employ or deploy more security officers to the place, especially those our Calabar area. That is to say, the junction between Bakere and the Calabar speaking areas. That is Buguma, Bonma, and Degema. That is a dead trap now. Most of the hoodlums, most of the kidnappers are very much there. So they've been doing a lot of bad things. That's it.
As we are traveling, we need security to secure us anyway so that the road will free for us.
Meanwhile, the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 6, Baba Bolanta, held a meeting with stakeholders and other security agencies in the state on ways to reduce crimes. Bolanta said the purpose of his visit is to assess the security situation and implementation strategies for increased level of security in the state.
We need the cooperation of members of the public. That is why I directed the CP to give out dedicated phone numbers so that once there is any security threat or you observe anything, you call those numbers and they will quickly respond and come to your aid. So essentially, it's just to come and see the security arrangement on the ground and then strategize on how to boost the security of the state.
The AIG commended the State Commissioner of Police, Musa Kimo, for effective collaboration with other security agencies in the state, but asked officers and men of the command to be more committed and dedicated to their duties.
The CP he has been doing a good job in collaboration with other agencies, the military, SSS and other security agencies. To my officers is for them to be more dedicated and committed. We need more dedication to improve the security of this, not only the state but the country as a whole. And that I've pledged in my address to these security stakeholders.
He therefore warned criminals in the state to desist from committing crimes, as the long arm of the law will catch up with them. Ekundayo Oyalowo for pacetv News.
The Borno state government has indicated that it will be reopening secondary schools in the state on November the 16th, 2015. The State Commissioner for Education, Mr. Inuwa Kubo, made this known during a meeting with principals of secondary schools in Maiduguri. Mr. Kubo further noted that schools located in secured areas with adequate security would be reopened. You're still on the news on Pace TV. Coming up next is business. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. As part of measures to encourage the use of debit cards in line with the cashless policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Apex Bank has introduced electronic payment incentive scheme. This disclosure was made by the Senior Manager Banking and Payment System of the CBN, Mr. Omileye Ifeoluwa, in Akure, Ondo State, during a presentation at the CBN Fair with the theme Promoting Financial Stability and Economic Development, held at the BTO Event Center. According to Ifeoluwa, consumers will win cash rewards of 100,000, 50,000 naira and 35,000 naira for star prize, first runner-up and second runner-up, respectively, at the monthly draws for using their cards to settle payment electronically. This event had in attendance commercial banks, microfinance banks, and various categories of bank services consumers like civil servants, market women, commercial vehicle operators, farmers, among others. Still on business, the federal government has finally approved 413 billion naira to oil marketers as outstanding payment for subsidy claims. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) disclosed this yesterday that the payment would ensure that there would be no scarcity of the product. According to the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Mr. Ohi Alegbe, it is our belief that with the outstanding payment due to oil marketers assured, the marketers and other downstream players will join hands with the NNPC to guarantee that the nation remains wet with petroleum products all year round. The corporation also stressed that it had injected additional volumes in order to ensure zero fuel queues ahead of the festive season and beyond. The Governor of Ekiti State, Mr. Ayodele Fayose, has expressed satisfaction over the payment of 150 million naira by Odua Investment Company Limited as dividend to the 5 states which own the company. Fayose discloses that the sum of 30 million which Ekiti State received from the total sum would go a long way at alleviating the sufferings of the people and impact meaningfully on the economy if well invested. Fayose, while speaking in Ado-Ekiti, also disclosed that the payment of dividend after about 6 years to the owner states was commendable and showed that the group still had the interest of the people at heart. In the face of a planned hike in electricity tariff by the National Electricity Regulatory Commission, businessmen in Lagos have expressed displeasure at the epileptic electricity supply. This, according to them, is one of the major causes of cost increment in running a business effectively in the country. Pace TV's Dominic Agose has the rest of the story.
This man, a tailor, and his next-door neighbor, a seamstress, perform similar functions as they require regular supply of electricity to do this. The only problem for them is that the supply of electricity for now is epileptic, as it barely lasts for 3 hours per day. Hence, the need to resort to an alternative source.
You can see me now, I'm not using lights. I'm using leg. That is why I didn't use electric for my machine. But how long will I use fuel?
The planned increase of electricity tariff, which is still in the pipeline, means more cost for these businessmen, but their only concern for now is the regularity of power supply.
We don't have light and we are buying fuel, 2,000 every day. So we cannot continue like that.
The planned increase in electricity tariff, which is still in the pipeline, means more cost for these businessmen, but their only concern for now is the regularity of power supply.
We followed the NEC guideline to presentation of tariff. So at the initial stage, we held a presentation, public presentation of our proposal with the customers. We've held 2 consultation forums with our customers to tell them this is what we want to do. We are reviewing our tariff.
At the Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company, pacetv spoke to the head of communications and strategy, Pekun Adeyanju, on the planned tariff hike, which is being considered by the National Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC.
You have electricity that is available in all the houses. You cannot talk of pricing. But if it is not there, if they decide to give only Abuja and Lagos and triple the tariff, those ones will pay. People in my village will not get it.
While the debate on the planned tariff hike is still on, some consumers are of the view that the issue of metering should be addressed by the various discos to avoid incurring outrageous bills. Dominic Agosi for Pace TV News.
It's still the news on Pace TV. Coming up next is sports. It's good to have you back. Federation of International Football, FIFA, has picked Mohamed Abdullah Mohamed from the United Arab Emirates, UAE, as the central referee for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup semi-final clash involving Nigeria's Golden Eaglets and their Mexican counterpart in Chile. The match kicks off at midnight at the 3,000-seating capacity Municipal Esta Rural Stadium in Concepcion. Former Super Eagles midfielder Dixon Etu was arrested after allegedly being involved in a scuffle with security guards and police in Sweden on Sunday night. The 33-year-old, who has previously played for Manchester City, Sunderland, Fulham and Blackburn Rovers, is now plying his trade for Stockholm-based side in Hague. National Women's Team's coordinator and chairperson of Edo State Queens of Benin City, Aisha Falode, has said she's sure that the national under-20 women's team, the Super Falconets, which narrowly lost the last World Cup final to Germany, has the capacity not only to qualify for the next World Cup but go all the way to winning the trophy. Falode also tipped the Super Falconets to beat their South African opponent this weekend in Johannesburg when the sides meet. It's still the news on Pace TV. Coming up next is entertainment. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Former Chalk City artist Brimo has released a new international album called Trance. The highly anticipated album will be distributed exclusively in the United States and was released by his American record label, Tate Music Group. Brimo signed a territorial recording and distribution deal with the America-based record label in March 2015. Trance is an 8-track compilation of songs that feature various genres of music from African folk to soul and R&B, as well as Afro beats. And finally, on entertainment, top American comedian and actor Eddie Murphy is reportedly expecting his 9th child with his 36-year-old girlfriend, Paige Butcher. Eddie Murphy and Paige have been together for 3 years, and this is the first child they are having together. in May 2016. The 56-year-old entertainer has 5 kids with his ex-wife Nicole Murphy, whom he divorced in 2006 after 22 years of marriage. And that has been the news on Pace TV. My name is Stella Ene-Eyang.
you.